These are the original front self-rope jigs. So these have been in use since 1959.
No!
Mike Brewer and Edd China weren't just co-hosts. Edd was the godfather to Mike's child. But in 2017, everything fell apart. At a car festival in Connecticut, Mike stood on stage and said Edd had done very bad things. Then he tweeted that Edd stabbed him in the back. He deleted it fast, but fans saw it. What happened between two men who worked together for 13 years? Mike says Edd changed and became difficult. Edd says Mike sided with the network. But there's more to this story than creative differences. Today, we're revealing what really tore them apart. Mike Brewer was born on August 28, 1964. In Lambeth, South London. At a time when cars weren't just machines, but a way to stand out. His father, Roger, was a car customizer who worked on vehicles in their small garage, while his mother, Doreen, kept the household running. Roger's pride and joy was a heavily modified Ford Popular he nicknamed Mr. Pop Star. It was loud, colorful, and famous in the neighborhood. Mike was only 5 when he first sat in that passenger seat, listening to his father talk about carburetors and horsepower. Most Ford Populars only had about 30 horsepower, but Roger had tweaked his to squeeze out more than 35. That driveway became Mike's first classroom. By the time Mike turned 10, Roger had turned the garage into a makeshift workshop, fixing up cars for locals on weekends. Mike became his right-hand man, passing tools, rewiring headlights, and learning to diagnose engine problems just by listening. One weekend, they bought a battered Austin A40 for $15 and spent months restoring it. Mike learned how to free up rusted bolts, patch dents, and haggle at car boot sales. Roger showed him how to spot cars with good bones, vehicles that looked rough but were worth saving. They'd go to boot sales, where sellers wanted $30. And Roger would show Mike how to point out flaws and get the price down. Even before he got to secondary school, Mike was learning how to turn wrecks into money. At 14, he decided to go solo. He'd saved up $50 from his paper route, putting away a few pounds each week, and bought a rusty beige Mini 800 cubic centimeters from a neighbor. It was far from perfect. The handbrake didn't work and there was rust everywhere, but Mike saw potential. Over the next few months, he and Roger searched junkyards for cheap replacement parts. A new handbrake cable was $3. Floor panels cost 8 tons, and a local friend offered to respray the car for $25. Mike got his hands dirty every weekend, replacing brake shoes, fitting rubber seals, and even trying his hand at body work. After about 85 in repairs, he sold the car for $250. That $115 profit felt huge and confirmed what he already knew. This was what he wanted to do. At 16, as soon as he left school, Mike got an apprenticeship at a used car dealership in South London. They mostly dealt in old British Land cars. Mike was given a notepad and told to cold call sellers using a payphone outside the shop. Within a few weeks, he found a 1972 Vauxhall Viva HC with nearly 90,000 miles. The elderly seller wanted $180. But Mike pointed out the worn clutch and tires and got it for $150. He persuaded his boss to take the risk. After spending just $30 on basic repairs, the car was sold for $350 in under 2 weeks. Mike earned a $20 toll commission, the first money he made, purely from his negotiation skills. By 19, Mike had left the dealership and was running his own weekend trading operation. He'd buy damaged cars from Monday auctions, fix them up during the week, and sell them on Saturdays for quick profits. He focused on cars that looked bad but were mechanically sound. He'd buy them for $100 or $200, fix them cheaply, and resell for up to $600. By the time he was 21, he had saved about $5,000, nearly $15,000 in today's money. He avoided taxes by keeping sales under the $1,000 threshold and sticking to cash. It wasn't glamorous, but it worked. Those years taught him how to judge cars fast, spot profits quickly, and always keep the cash moving. As he got older, Mike kept building his name in the trade. In the late 1980s, while others were dreaming about showrooms, he was out in London's car markets, flipping used vehicles with little more than his charm and street smarts. His reputation grew not for flash, but for honesty. People trusted him because he knew what to look for and didn't pretend a car was better than it was. Over time, he opened his own 4044 center in southern England, importing cars and making deals with buyers from all over. It was all built on instinct and hustle, not corporate training or flashy branding. By the early 1990s, he was expanding. He wasn't just flipping cars anymore. He was building a proper network. He knew how to negotiate both ways, getting a good price from the seller and making the buyer feel they'd found something special. He wasn't selling Ferraris or Porsches. These were regular cars priced right, sold with confidence. His style caught the attention of people in the TV world, even though he never chased the spotlight. In 1992, he married Michelle, a woman who shared his love for motors and would quietly become a key part of his success. Born in 1962, she understood the grind and supported Mike through every career twist. They had a daughter, Chloe, and kept their family life private. In 2018, Mike proudly shared a photo of her graduation. On their anniversary in 2024, Mike wrote on Instagram, "How did I get so lucky?" 34 years together and 21 happily married. Michelle had been there from the early hustle to the media pressure, often helping him deal with the emotional weight of public life. Mike's break into TV happened by accident. One day, he picked up the phone at a friend's place and ended up talking to a producer. They got to chatting, Mike shared stories, and before long, he was cast in a new show. That show was Deals on Wheels and it aired in 1998. He teamed up with Richard Sutton and helped teach people how to spot good used cars. It wasn't fancy, but viewers loved it. Just a few weeks into the show, Top Gear took notice and tried to bring him over, but Mike ended up negotiating a second gig. Instead, another show called Driven, where he worked alongside Jason Barlow and a young James May. By 2002, Driven had wrapped up and the BBC was retooling. Top Gear. Mike's contract ended and new offers came in. One from Discovery Channel stood out. Back then, Discovery mostly showed documentaries about mountain climbers and wildlife, but they wanted to build a car show, and they wanted Mike to help shape it. He worked with the producers to turn a simple 5-minute idea into something bigger. Buying, fixing, and flipping cars. At first, they called it Grand Autos, but Mike's company was already named Wheeler Dealer Limited, and the name stuck. Meanwhile, Edd China was born on May 9, 1971 in London, but spent most of his early life in Surrey. He went to King Edward's School in Whitley, Surrey, where his fascination with mechanics started to form, while stories float around about him taking apart a bicycle engine at age 6 or rummaging through his father's stash of 1950s motorcycle parts. There's no firm evidence to back those specific claims. What we do know is that his curiosity for how things work showed up early, and that interest stuck with him as he grew up. By 1989, Edd was enrolled at London South Bank University studying engineering, product design. He needed money for an expedition to Bice scheduled for 1991. And instead of taking the usual route, like getting a part-time job, he decided to build something no one else had, a motorized sofa. He called it the casual loofah. It was exactly what it sounded like, a leopard print living room sofa, powered by a 1.3L mini engine. The steering wheel was made from a pizza tray. The indicators were hidden in flower pots and the speedometer sat inside a clock on the table. It could drive on actual roads because he made it street legal. He started showcasing it at university events and local gatherings, raising the money he needed, while turning heads everywhere he went. What started as a university stunt became the start of something much bigger. In March 1998, that same sofa helped Edd earn his first Guinness World Record. It hit 87 mi and officially became the fastest piece of furniture on the planet. He was 27 then and started showing off his sofa at big venues like Top Gear Live at Silverstone. Jeremy Clarkson even raced it around Thruxton Circuit for one of his DVDs in the style of a cartoon chase. Edd wasn't just known for the casual loofah, though. He had other oddball inventions like a drivable toilet and a bed on wheels, both of which he displayed on shows like The Big Breakfast. Nearly a decade after he first built it, the sofa still had life left in it. In 2007, he broke his own record with a new version that hit 92. Mech built for sofa.com. By the time he graduated in 1994, Edd was already making waves. That same year, he was hired as a special effects technician for the comedy series Father Ted. It was his first real break in television. His mechanical creativity came in handy behind the scenes, and he got noticed as his unique motorized creations drew more attention. He founded a company in March 1999 called Comfy Banana Limited, a business that specialized in turning surreal vehicle ideas into working machines. His creations started popping up on ITV's Pulling Power in 2001 and then again on This Morning in 2006. Bit by bit, he was becoming a known face, not just a background technician. By the Early 2000s, Edd was showing up on every major British car show. He appeared on the rebooted Top Gear in 2002, where he took a $200 Rover and added Bond-style gadgets, including an actual ejection seat for just another $100. He became a regular contributor to Fifth Gear, bringing both mechanical knowledge and entertainment value. He even stepped outside of the car world to appear on Ready Steady Cook in 2005 for a Children in Need special. In 2003, Mike Brewer was already a familiar name in British motoring television with a strong presence on shows like Deals on Wheels. Discovery Channel picked him up for a new experiment, Wheeler Dealers. He was 38, then came Edd China, 32 at the time. An engineer with serious hands-on credibility and a calm screen presence. The match was unlikely on paper, but the moment they started filming, it worked. The energy was right. Mike was the wheeler, Edd, the dealer with tools. Their chemistry wasn't rehearsed. It was simply built on rhythm. Mike would go out, chase a car, work the price, do his famous handshake deal. Then the car landed in Edd's hands, and that's where magic happened. He'd break it down, fix it step by step, all while explaining it in a way even non-car folks could understand. There was no fluff. It was real work. No labor charges were ever included in their cost breakdowns. Only actual parts and third-party services, like paint jobs. This built trust. The first season aired on October 7, 2003. With just 12 episodes. The budget was tight, $1,000 per car. One of those early cars, a 1986 Ford Capri Laser, ended up being a loss. It cost $945 to fix and sold for $700. That was a $245 hit. It got new tires, fog lights, exhaust parts, and decals, but no profit. Still, it didn't matter. Viewers saw the process. They understood the challenge. They came back. That's how the show survived, and soon budgets doubled, then tripled. Initially, each car had 2 30-minute episodes.